Okay. Let me see, make sure I'm going live. I just hit the button, the transition button, to see where we at. Hopefully, this is is going well. Can y'all see that? Is it playing for y'all? Make sure it's playing for everybody here. It says the stream is not live anymore, but it's kind of weird because I am live. Let me check something out. Yeah. Did it stop? Okay, here we go. Can y'all see that? I'm going to increase resolution for you guys on Bigo. Yeah, it's kind of janky here. So let me go to YouTube and increase the increase that for you real quick. Let me get the light up here so you can see me clearly. I guess it's only go to 120. That's weird. Maybe I need to get a new HD camera, 4K camera. But anyway, not to prolong the show, prolong the stream. My name is Dione Robinson, aka Ethereal Author, and I'm here with you to do a part 2 to the video. Yesterday, I was doing a parchment design tutorial, and pretty much what I was just doing here is like in the last tutorial here, as you can see, if you check out the first book, I was showing you the basics on how to design a a map. Let me see. Otherwise, while I was doing that, it's kind of like I think I think it's buffering. Oh, sorry. Let me come right into there. Hold on, give me 1 second. Make sure y'all okay on Bigo. But anyway, so yeah, pretty much yesterday I was doing a parchment design, showing you the basics, like how what you can do, how you can design, design maps such as this and so forth, and pretty much like right now, I was basically just showing you ways or things that you can do. One of the many techniques, if you ever choose to design your own map for your own fantasy series, RPG game, or so have you. So right now, I'm going to continue forward. I'm not going to do too much here, but I do want to continue with another video because yesterday, I feel like the stream yesterday was not, pretty much had like, bad stream quality yesterday. So I'm basically trying to make it up to you guys doing another video. But as you can see, yesterday, I did quite a bit from yesterday, and like, adding terrain and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to zoom across the water, maybe to this region here to add a little stuff here. Now yesterday, like what I said before when I was designing the tutorial and stuff like that, that you always want to make sure you can distinguish your land from your water, from the land mass, from your water mass, and also make sure you establish your cities, create rivers, mountains, trees, create capital cities, creating borders, just in case, like say you know, so pretty much like you can keep so you can keep a good idea, like what nations exist within your country, like and so what I'm gonna do is here I'm gonna go ahead, like sometime maybe later on, after I finish the map, I may add some shading in the background. Like I said before, I like to keep darker regions, I like to keep dark, I like contrast in my map. So I'll get to that later. And then meanwhile, actually I might add some color to it. It still could be a parchment map. You can still add some color to it. To give it a little flair. There are parchment maps out there that that's color. So if you ever decide to do that, also what I'm gonna do is I am going to expand the map up a little bit more. Probably add some more. Maybe add another continent over here, or something like that. Because I always say, like, think big about your map. Think how big is your real. It's just one thing. So I am going to expand out maybe later. But right now I'm just going to focus on what I have. Like I might add some terrain here. Maybe I call this like the coastline, wastelands. I don't know. But I'm not really done with this region here. So I do want to try to add some more cities or something like that. Again, yesterday also I say, like, in order to give your map a little bit diversity, or help your eyes. You can always add a color to a monochrome matte background, with the assets, as I did here with Mesa Capital City. So, but what I'm gonna do is this. So I'm gonna show you a little bit more assets which you can add to the map. Say like say if you can really give it a good flair. Like for example, say like if you want to add like icons or assets, stuff like that. I always put like cities here, want to like for example major cities. I always kind of like give it like an icon, and maybe smaller cities such as these I kind of give it like a dot or something. But like major cities, like something that's very important. Now the only reason why I did with this with Mesa City, because I couldn't see the background, so that means like I really want to try to I really want to try to try to make sure you be able to see the assets or the icons of the map. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna duplicate this again and see if it works out, because like I said before, like later on I might add a little color to the background, like not too much colors. I do want to keep it worn effect, like with the parchment, but you maybe I want to add a little color, showing a little bit of what it could look like. Matter of fact, let's try that right now. Let me duplicate this real quick, and we're going to try to see if we can add some background to give it a little more shade. Like I said before, I'm not too worried about this map, and I can always complete it later. Go back over it. I'm just basically just showing you guys like what you can really do as far as like to make your map really pop. So like for example, like okay, so say that this area is a little bit greener, a little like darker green, maybe like lighter green shades, like plains and stuff like that. You know, maybe little sand here. You know, a sandy nation, what have you. And also, one thing I have to say too. Also, one place that really has a very good map. Let me check something out real quick. I think you are. One place that really has a really good map. Also, check out Octopath Traveler. Pretty much, Octopath Traveler has given me this idea, you know, as well. You know, based off the map. It's a very good interactive map with a video game. So, I do play video games. I am a gamer, and pretty much the reason why I play games more for research than for enjoyment. You know. But so let's add some color to this map. Say if you want to give it a very good color, like for example, like I always kind of leave the midlands, you know, a little bit color. So I'm gonna go here and choose maybe a colorful texture, something that's can help help give it a little bit more flair. So we got the partial world here. So let's try something with fantasy battle maps. Because a lot of times battle maps or pretty much fantasy regional maps have good terrain and good color. So I see a few here that I like. You know, I could add to, like, you know, the green carpet. You know, now these are like castles. You know, castle textiles, but you can still use it for whatever. You know. Also, we have a lot of like, you know, a lot of stuff here. You know, you can add to the map. You know. They got snow, they got sewers. Matter of fact, I think sewers are new. Haven't seen that. I have not seen that. They must have upgraded, you know, updated their assets and their textiles here. But let's see if we can find something that will allow this map to stick out just a little bit more, you know. So this is what I want to do. I'm going to find a texture. Maybe, you know, if I don't find it here, let's play around with green carpet. You see how that looks. Looks a little leafy. I'm going to decrease the I have decreased the what's name here. As you can see, it still looks kind of parchment like, you know. One thing I don't like it, you know. I don't like that texture, you know. It just doesn't. I mean, it's a nice texture, you know. It just doesn't have really like good flair, in my opinion, you know. But we could use this, you know, just color it in, you know. I'm gonna do a little color here. I'm gonna build a color up over here, you know, because I'm gonna add more dark shades and stuff like that. Let go back a little bit. I am gonna go around the mountains a bit, but say like we want is gonna get a little, a little coat up there, like a little darker green. So let's look at that. Now you don't have to do this color here. The reason, you know, it's all up to you. I'm just basically just playing around with it, testing it out. You know, also I can add a little frost here. Like this is a water texture, but the thing is, like, you know, sometimes you can create the illusion of things. You know, like I said, I'm just basically just layering it a little bit. Like, say if this is a colder region, perfect. You know. And remember, like, you know, remember treat it like a paint canvas. Because the thing is, like, when, you know, normally, like, you know, this is what it is. It's technically a canvas, you know, a digital canvas. You know, I really don't like what I did here. You know, I'm just basically testing things out. But like I said before, this is just to show you the many things that you can do to make your map stand out. You know, give it color. You know, say if you like, you know, you gotta have some color. You know, I'm gonna start over again. I want to try something different. You know, right now I'm experimenting, and that's cool too. We'll see what they have with regional maps. But yeah, you know, experiment, play around with it, see what, you know, what you can get from it. You know, and like I said before, like for $5 a month, you can, you know, it pretty much like $5 a month, you know, is a very good price to, you know, produce high quality maps. They got some grasslands here. I'm going to test out. They do have some water textures, you know. Let's see if they got any snow. They got barren grasslands here. They do have some like core, like snow, rocky ground, like tropical green sea. Yeah. So let's try this. Let's add some textures here with let's try this green pastures right here. See what we can get from it. Just play around with it. Don't worry about what it looks like at the moment. And you can always go back to it. It could be a pain in the behind, but you can always go back to it and and make things right. With your design. You know, and I know you said like why I'm coloring up in here. It's basically because like I want to demonstrate like the further you get up north, the colder, the darker it gets. And I'll probably add some white around the mountain just to show that it is a mountainous region. Also, you can also if you want to, you can add some color assets in there too, like I showed before. You know, it's totally up to you. And also, I like to let like to darken areas up. I may darken the forest areas, just to give it a little bit more depth. I want to do a little down here as well. And then I want it to fade out just a bit. Maybe this is more like a desert region, or like a like when areas fade out, they most likely either become lighter or become darker. Like for example, if you go into more of a lush area, it's gonna get darker. But if you if you go to a lighter area like with less vegetation, the area is gonna appear more lighter and more barren. So and that's what I'm trying to portray to you here. What you can do with this map, make it stand out a little bit more. Now, I can't. I'm gonna try to make this area a little bit darker. Add some darker shades here. Now, normally it's not gonna work with the texture here because of what we have. But you can always go to the color, and you can make sure you can choose that as well. Like you want to go in. If you want to go into like the darker forest areas and stuff like that, you can most definitely do that. You can play around with the shade, say if you want to. A lot of times I do a lot of tapping because I don't want to overdo it, but I do want to show heavy forest areas, that might be darker and stuff like that, which you can most definitely do. You can also lighten areas as well. I want a little more darkness, a little more shade, within the map itself. So I'm going to darken a little bit. I may bring down the shade down just a tad bit more with forest dark green, and I'm going to increase the opacity. I don't know if you can see that at the bottom, but I have increased the opacity of that. So let's try this. I'm going to tap it. I don't want to do too much, because I don't want to ruin it. I'll give it a couple of taps, just to give it a little bit more depth. You can still see that. Now, if you have a problem with seeing that, you can always darken your trees, your assets, but but like I said, you don't want to overdo it, Can y'all see that? I don't know if okay, can y'all see that? I do apologize. I don't know why the live stream is not kicking for you guys over here on Bigo. But I'm gonna take that out, seeing what I seeing the dark area, the dark patches I created. That's just one of the many things you can do to make your map stand out. Like I say, you do want to be careful not to overdo it. Also, I am kind of getting a little bit lag here because again I don't know what's going on with you guys. You're not receiving a live session here. I don't know why, but I'll move forward though. Now, if you have a problem seeing the changes, like you can always there's a tool up here somewhere. Here you go. You can always hit the back tool to make changes. If it's not doing it fast enough, I always hit like backspace and control and Z for to undo things, but seems like it's not doing it fast enough. But I'm just saying, You know, those are just one of the many things you can do to make your map stand out. Why is it not? Am I getting a delay? Hold on, let me check something out real quick. I want to see if I'm getting a lag or something. It says a 10-second delay. Um, I don't know. Yeah, I do apologize. Let me see. Let me check something out as well. Let me check out the connector. Maybe the connector here is not doing too well on y'all side as well. Because if the connector is not working, you know, that might be a problem too. So let me pull it up. Just bear with me one second, YouTube. I just want to make sure that the open preview. Make sure y'all are getting a live feed here. All right. Okay, so let's continue. I mean, I don't know what's going with Beagle. I do apologize for that. I am trying. I am trying to work the work out the things here. But that's so pretty much say like you want you can always make you can also make the forest darker, like you can always go over your assets again, and you can always increase the opacity. Just give us for 1 minute. I threw too much in there. A lot of times, sometimes they let you increase the opacity. It will let you increase the opacity as you go. Hold on for a minute. But if you cannot select all, make sure you can always go here, and you can select all. And what you can do with that is like if you go to your assets, it should allow you to grab it. Let me see. I think they changed. I think they changed some things around. On here. Just give me 1 second. I should be able to change the opacity somewhere. If not, but we're not gonna worry about it. And we can do that later. But yeah. So try to build it with some color. See how it will look. Maybe I'll go a little bit, go up a little lighter. Give us a lush green. There we go. That's better. Now sometimes like it may not go as planned, but that's fine. I'm going to add a little I'm going to add a little permafrost or little frost up here. I'm going to add a little like darker, like a bluish hue, like for colder regions maybe. Let's add that green in there real quick. Add some green in there real quick, because like I said, I'm going to build off of that. Now, I mean, I don't want too much, Like I said, I just want to build off of it. That's all. Then I'm gonna go with a darker shade of greenish blue. Like maybe this is like a darker, a colder region. You know, I always like to add like a bluish part. You know, to give my land a little bit more. You know, flair with the color. Now I know this may not look like the best, but you know, like I said before, I'm still a novice at this. I'm just here, just want to show you guys some things here, what you can do. I am going to add some frost here. I want to go back to the texture, because there's a texture here that you can use for snow. I'll open catalog, and I'm going to spray the mountain downs with a little hint of white real quick before I get anything started. Maybe a little hint of white, you know, with the mountains. It's always, you know, like I said before, it's always good to build up your own, you know, then use the asset, because they're what I'm about to show you. You know, you can use it. You know, you can use it. You know, use other assets to get what you want. But you know, sometimes it's just fun to just build your stuff up, and not only that, it won't overpower the 3D assets won't overpower your 2D map. You know, that's one thing you want to really avoid. Matter of fact, I'm going to add a mountain here. No, because I want to keep the river pass here. You know, maybe, you know, you go up the river through the mountains. You know, whatever you want to do. And I do apologize for the noise in the background if you are hearing that. I don't want that. I meant to get some texture, but let me go back to color, because I want to, you know, I don't want to be too sloppy with that. You know. Well, matter of fact, maybe I should add a little bit more texture here. You know, a little more color. Like I said, this is going to be a darker region, darker color region. And normally darker color regions are, you know, dark. Just remember, you know, also this like I said, color is a good way to divide your nations up as well, if you ever choose to do that. So make sure you do that. You know, you can always test it out. You know, do experiment. Remember, you know, for $5 a month, you know, experimenting is really good. You know, you get what you want out of it. So I'm going to look for some map. Look for some sprinkles. You know, sprinkles of snow up there. Not too much, but they do have we got some ice and snow. Let me see. They have a lot of good assets here. Like I said, like, you know, even though some assets are meant for, you know, for an element, you can always use that to your advantage. You know, like, well, I can't use it because you can see the water, but you know, you can always stamp your water. You know, if you need some water stamps in here, you know, you can also put that in here as well. Let me see if it shows up. Well, let me see. Let me make sure I'm on the right. I don't see the water stamp is showing. Let me see if it shows up on the land. If it does, okay, yeah, it will show up on land mass, but not on the ocean, which is kind of weird. Maybe if I had put on the background setting will work. But anyway, let's get back to what I was talking about. So I'm not seeing any. I'm not really seeing any, like, textures I can use. But like I said, you know, but make sure you keep looking. Here's some winter textures right here. You might be able to fool with. So let's try this one out. This snow patch. This is a snow patch. Let's try that snow patch out. Let's see what it do. Oh yeah, I like that. But what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to increase. Let me see. Increase the size. I don't know. It doesn't really look like snow. More like it's a little more like a permafrost. A permafrost. No, it's not permafrost. I'm talking about more like frost on the ground, or what I forget what it's called. Let's see if we can find a better texture. Let me see. Just bear with me 1 second. They have a lot of other textures here you can use. They say got some rough dark stone. Let's try that one. Okay. So this is what we do. I like that. I'm going to decrease decrease the opacity because I don't want to overtake it. And then later, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to go to later. I'm going to go maybe I add more up to this consonant, and this would be like a more of like a it'd be more like a snowish region here. But I'm gonna add a little frost down here since it's further up north. I'm gonna add a little bit more frost here because, like I said, you always want to make sure it changes. There you go. Now, as you see, like I said before, like this is like one of the many ways you can add color to the map. Now, as I said before, if you ever want to expand your map, which I'm gonna do right now, is the let's see what's going on here. Oh, did I lose stream over here, Vigo? Oh, sorry about that. So this is what pretty much what I've been playing around with. Now let's add some more. Let's add a little bit more. Let's see. Let's add a little bit more gradient. So say like this is becoming more of like a brownish area. You want to like keep it desert. You can keep it as is what you want, but if you want to add color to it, you most definitely can. Like for example, like if you really want this to stand out, you can with by adding painting it brown, like So let's see what we can find here. So since it's desert, I want to give it a nice little. I do want to get I don't add too much desert. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to think. I'm gonna add a little desert color here over here, a little bit. See how that looks. You really can't see that, but I'm gonna go further south with it. There we go. Can you see that? Now, one thing I'm going to do is this as well. I'm going to go back here and shade in a little bit because like I said before, this area here, around this area here is like it's transitioning to a different biome. Also, I may just or here's another thing too I can do. I can make this green as well. Just make this one big green area, and further I could come down here. I could create a desert nation down here somewhere, or I could make this a desert nation. Excuse me. But anyway, it's just one of the many things that you can do to give your map some personality. Now, also, if you want to make the water stand out too, there's ways you can do to make the water stand out. But right now I'm just basically just creating like lower planes. Because pretty much I may sprinkle some trees up here to just to keep the flow of things. Because like there will be some trees over here like in this area. Like normally you see a major drastic change in a biome if you you know like due to some major rock formation like a mountain or something or ocean, a major terrain obstacle. So let's do this. Let's tag some trees up here. You know, maybe like I said, this is a little nation here. So let's add some more trees real quick. You know, and I said this before as well. Like you know, you're going to you will be sometimes going back and forth. You know, with the situations like you know, this could be like a hills and trees and stuff like that. You know, but that's too close to the water. You know, you want to be reasonable now. You don't can't be too close to the water. But anyway, matter of fact, do this. Here we go. You don't want to be too close to the water. You know, with your trees and stuff like that, because you do want to keep your beaches. No, matter of fact, no. You don't have to be trees over here. You really don't have to be trees. You can do whatever you want, and that's what I'm going to do right now. Like I say, it's more like a grassy plain area. And also, I do apologize for being indecisive. Sometimes, like you know, indecisive. You know, according to this, indecisiveness is good because like you don't want to be locked into one idea. You know, you want to keep a good flow of ideas. You know, or keep an open mind when you design maps and stuff like that. I'm just basically going over here, making it you know darker. You know. Now, one thing you can do as well too. I was thinking about this as well. That you could add little small little white sandy parts here, like you know, showing that these areas here are you know the beach areas. But you know, you most probably do that more on a detailed map. You know, let's make this stand out a bit. You know, I want to make this more like a I don't know. How should I make this? You know, this is more like a mess of capital. So mess of capital is gonna be. Let's add some green lush to it. You know, give it some personality. I'm gonna open catalog here. What's this? Forest dark green. Oh, that's good. I could have used that on the dark patch areas. You know, but I'm not gonna go back. So pretty much like you know, say like you know, let's say we could add some moss over here. Give it like I said, give it some texture. You know, give it make it stand out. Oh, I'm not really seeing anything like this. So let me do this. Let me go here. Let me see. Let me do advanced settings. Also in advanced settings, you can add some things here. See what we can do. We can probably add more contrast. See what it looks like. Okay, that's new. So pretty much you add more contrast. You know, I guess this is like a preview where it's showing you what it looked like. That's fine. And if you see, we can add some brightness. See what it does. That's probably like too bright. And we'll add a little bit more saturation. You know what? Damn. I could use that. You know, I'm gonna have to go back over something. That looks kind of tight. I like that. So let's see what it looks like. Yeah. I don't know if you can see that. Matter of fact, let's increase this. Let's increase opacity. Yeah, I like that. So you want to add, you know, I just basically adding some color or lush to it. You know. The thing is, I don't want to overdo it. I do want to just tap some color to it. So I'm trying to just go back over this part here. There you go. Let's see what happens. And basically, what it is like this, like, you know, I'm kind of working like spray paint. You know, I'm not a spray paint artist, but I understand, like, you know, but I have known spray paint people who did spray painting, and basically like they just tap the nozzle just to get, you know, get a good feel. You know, they tap the nozzle just to get things going. But yeah. So this is pretty much better. When I added the dark forest part, this is pretty much better with the texture and stuff like that. You know, I mean, it's not too overpowering. You know, so I might just go back over here. I can always make corrections here if I wanted to. So I'm gonna go back over the areas that I know I can fix. So let's do this. I'm gonna go back here with the asset. And remember, you're gonna go back and forth with the project. You know, and make changes, make fixes. You know, do such and such. Um, I know some people that's annoying, but you know that, you know, that's part of the process. You know, becoming a map photographer. So let me see if I can find that. Matter of fact, let's do a better texture here. They got different terrain. So what's this right here? Dark grass. Okay, let's do some dark grass. And then, you know, I'm gonna fix everything here, and I want to lighten the grass up down here as well. So let's fix this area up here real quick, you know. And I want to add some of this texture that I just put over here, but I want to fix this area up over here real quick, and I'll see if we can fix it. You know, I still got some dark parts here, so I'm trying to see if I can get rid of that. I'm not gonna touch the north because the north is perfect the way it is. You know, I like where it's going. I just basically want to fix these parts up down here. You know. All right, that's nice. Also, what I'm gonna do is I want to change the saturation. I want to see if I can change the saturation of this as well, because like the fact is, I do want a little bit more. I do want a little bit more like yellow grass here. So let's see if I can do that real quick. I'm gonna go back here to the color. I'm gonna change the hue. Ain't that nice? I like that. I'm gonna change the hue a little bit to maybe a little more grassy like. Something maybe a little bit more like this. Because remember, grass also comes in different colors. You know, in the state of Kentucky, you know, they have places called, you know, it's called the bluegrass state, and that's for a reason, you know, because there are bluegrasses in Kentucky. So, okay, that's a little bit wild. So I'm gonna take down the I mean, it's wild as far as like, you know, like the pasty. So I mean, it's a nice color, you know, but I'm gonna downtone it a bit because I do want a little. Let's see something. There's something going on here in the back. I'm going to add the grass texture down here. You know, with the new grass texture, like I said, I do want different shades of grass and different tones. So I'm going to let's see how it looks right now. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that one. I mean, I do like the texture as what it's giving me. You know. Let me see. I'm gonna go up a bit with the opacity. See if I can get it more stand out a little bit more. Yeah, that's a bit overpowering, so I'm not gonna do that right there. It's fine where it is right now. I'm just gonna. What you can do is this also. You can also lighten it up a bit, and you can always lighten up the opacity and just build on top of that. You know, which is not a bad idea. Now it still kind of looks. It still. I still find it a little bit more overpowering. Now I can say, like I said before, you can always go into your assets, you know, and turn up the opacity. But that's not helpful. So I want to keep it light as possible. Also, it just gave me an idea to also what I can do as well. Let me see. Let me do something real quick. Yeah, see, you also darken these parts up here as well. But also gave me an idea for up north because I could also make more of a grassy terrain because, like I said before, not all the time that you'll find like it's barren up here. Like you do have like grass that survive in the wintertime in certain regions, and that's what I'm trying to that's what I want to portray right there with that. I do want to come back here with a little color and something like that. So let's do this. Let's do this. Let's get the terrain straight over here. You know, and like I said before, we can always go back. Also, if you want, you can always like delete all your assets. Like sometimes I have found myself going back in and taking out the assets and rebuilding everything back up. From that, just so I can have a clean slate. But I'm not gonna do that here. And also another reason why, because like say if I want the trees a little bit more opacity, because I really wasn't really thinking about coloring it, till today. But like if you want a little bit more opacity, like sometimes I just have to go in and just delete everything and go right back in and do the same thing over. But I'm not gonna do that right now. I just basically want to show you uh, the functions of the assets and the textures here. Okay, that's a little bit wild. Now you may want to be very vivid, on the 3D map parts, like if you're doing a close up of a city. Right now I don't want to do that. I just want a good parchment map, like how it would look. It's getting better. I'm going to take down the saturation a little bit more because I don't want it seem like it's overpowering with the region over here. You know, I just wanted just to peek through just a bit. Nothing too big. I'm gonna turn up the opacity just a little bit. All right. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's still kind of over. I don't know. It's still kind of like overpowering. I turn it up 0.35. See what it looks like. Okay, that works. Like I said, I don't want to overpower you with it. Now I'm gonna go in and see if I can do a darker green. So I can get part of the forest areas. Excuse me, like deep in the forest. So let's go down here to the saturation and color, and let's see. I'm gonna turn down the saturation a bit, see how it looks. But no, that's not gonna work. That's not. See, let's do the brightness. Nope. Contrast. Okay, we'll turn down saturation a bit. And maybe hue will work. Like I said, sometimes you gotta slide up and down to get what you want. Let me see if this works. Not really. Oh well, we just leave it as it is. We're not gonna worry about that. Let's create some texture for the upper biome. Get some grassy textures going on up there and see what happens. This time I'm gonna make it more of like a bluish or darker tone. So let's go back to what we were at. Even though it seems like it's more of a snowy, it's still gonna have some texture. Like I'm basically just building up the layers and stuff. So let's do that. Let's go back to let's get out of here first. And again, don't feel bad about things. If you feel like your map is not that great. just remember you can always go back and make changes and stuff like that. You know, right now I'm just making some snow. You know, making a little darker stuff right here. I'm not done with that yet. And I want to brighten this up. Do a little bit of contrast. See what happens. See if I can add a little green to it. Maybe a tad green. Not quite sure. Here we go. Let's try that one. Now, I'm just going to tap this one. I'm not going to spread it around. I just want to tap a few areas. Now, it's okay if it's not perfect. Like things like, you know, it doesn't get every corner. That's fine. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. Did it go? Also, I got a little lag going on here because the problem is with that. Again, this is a 4K map, and for whatever reason, 4K is kind of pretty much taking a toll on my RAM. So now, as you can see, like I added a little snow, like frosted snow on snow, you know, to give it I'm gonna add a little bit more. I kind of get a little ridiculous. I don't want to show too much, but I do want. I'm just basically just speckling, basically just speckling the areas that I want to see some snow. Maybe I'll put some snow down here a little bit. You know, maybe the upper region is kind of like getting a little bit, you know, crazy with the winter time as it's transitioning further up north. You know. Let's go back to color. I want to spray a little bit of color over here. Yeah, you know, this should be fine. You know, a little winter base here. Now, let's expand this map real quick. Like, say for example, if I really want to take it up north, like I said before, like, you know, you can always expand your map out. So one thing I'll do is I'm going to save this real quick, and I'll make some asset changes, and I'm going to expand up north to create more like a snow-capped region. You know. It seems like it's very harsh if they, you know, create some glaciers, you know, maybe around the water. I'm not quite sure yet, but maybe I create some, you know, mountains, make it. I didn't say make it bare or frigid, but it's gonna be cold up there. Give me one second, I blow my nose. Excuse me. I don't know what's going on with Beagle, man. Like, you know, I don't know if it's I don't know if it's my RAM or what. Alright, just waiting for it to save real quick. You know, I'm going to end Beagle right now because the fact is, like, I don't know what's going on. You're not really getting the feed, and it's just, like, wild to me. So I'm going to end it with you guys real quick while it's saved. And I do thank you, Beagle, for joining live here. You've been great. So let me do this. Let me close you out here. And plus my screen is like jumping like crazy. I don't know why. I need to get a better, get the refresh rate. Okay, you want to say and Beagle real quick because this is like crazy. I do apologize for everybody, you know, that it's not working out over here. Alright, so let me do this. I'll still stay on here live, you know, on Beagle. If you want to see the actual work, you know, you can go on YouTube, look for Ethereal Author as well, so you know you can check it out. Also, you can go back and check out the video as it is currently recorded on YouTube, so you can check that out as well. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to go add a northern region, and I'm going to call it quits after that. I'm going to show you how to gradually build up from that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to resize the map. Okay, so here we go. And I always like to, matter of fact, I'm going to expand out because I do want to add more here. It's going to look weird. It's going to look weird at first because I pretty much it's going to be like a big patch of up here. But like I said before, we're not going to worry about that. So we're going to confirm that, save and proceed, and watch it. It's going to pop up. Right now it's loading the new dimensions. And I'm gonna take this off because this thing is driving me wild. With the monitor over here, it's not like the best, but you know, like I said before, I'm still a novice at this. I'm just here to show you guys some things here, what you can do. And I'm gonna add some frost here. I'm gonna go back to the texture. So there's the texture here that you can use for snow. I do apologize. Give me 1 second. I gotta delete this page. Okay. I do apologize. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure the stream is still doing. It's kicking well. Click OK. Give me 1 second. I just want to make sure the stream is doing well, real quick. You know. Now, as I was saying before, that you can see how weird it looks. Of course, the world is a little bit bigger, but you know that's fine. So I'm going to really get into that. But let me check the live out real quick, make sure it's doing well. You know. But anyway, so pretty much what we want to do is, what I want to do right now, I really want to like clean up this part here, you know, make it whole. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Paint the background, the color that it needs to go. That's not the one. Let me see. Texture. Background. Here we go. I think this is it. I'm not quite sure. No, it's not it. Give me 1 second. So let's look for that. Let's look for the parchment texture that we used before. If you can't find it, you can always go over the map. With, you know, make sure everything, you know, stays the same. You know. So pretty much like, you know. And one thing I really like about this, like it will the parchment map, you know, when you do the background, you can always, you know, make changes without messing up your map. But you know, but I kind of lost a little bit of the contrast, so I'm going to reset that, you know, with the fill, with the advanced settings, and change the saturation. With the color, see saturation. And with the saturation and contrast, you know. Now, if that doesn't work, that's fine. You know, what you could also do is this, like, you know, as I did before, you can go over the background with a color and take out the let's say you want to do a darker. I want to do a darker brown. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And do a darker. Matter of fact, it's fine what it is. I'm not going to trip over that. So let's add more. Let's add a little bit more territory up here. Say, like, you know, it's transitioning up to the biomes is changing color, you know, changing up. And I'm going to expand out west, maybe out west here, not quite sure. All depends on how you want to do it. And that could also be two or three more territories up here. So let's do that. Let's add a little bit more. Make sure that we don't add, and let's see. Maybe create like a horn region up here or something like that. I'm not quite sure. You know, now I'm going to fix that because I do want it to look more natural. Or whatever I can do is this. I can make this also a add a little like a small island here maybe. Don't know. Yeah, just use your imagination. You know, never know. Now, I can't add a little more trees here if I wanted to. You know, but I'm not going to. I say this is more like a snowy, sandy area. So what I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna make this area more like barren, like maybe like a bluish white area here, so we can get a good idea what it looks like. So let's do that. And like I said, it's all about changing your biomes and stuff like that. Oops, sorry about that. Make sure it's on foreground. Now I found that a little bit too powerful, so I'm gonna take that down a bit with the opacity. You know. Now also the problem is this as well. As you can see, I have a little broken line here. Like, you know, if you want to get rid of that, I may have to go over with the opacity a bit. Maybe I can make it a little darker and build up on that. But as you see right here, you know, I have that little split due to adding more to the map. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go. Let's see if I can change the hue of this real quick. But first, let's do this. Let's make it a solid color first. You know, make this a solid color. And then I'm gonna go in with the parchment map texture, and I'm gonna go in and lighten it up a little bit, so I can keep some texture to the parchment map. You know, you see that? And I still have some texture to the parchment map. I want to bring it down a little more and go over just a little bit more. That's too much. No, anyway. I'm gonna start shifting down the blues as the grass stands to dissipate more into as the grass dissipate more into what's the word? As it dissipates more to the northern area, like say like the grass is becoming more snow covered and stuff like that. And also I'm gonna go back to my old trusty vines here with the color, and I'm going to take out the saturation. Now, the reason I'm taking out saturation because want I do want a you know, the texture there, but the reason I'm taking out the saturation, I may add a little hint of blue to give it to make it sound a little bit more. But the reason why is I do want the terrain to have some type of texture to give it a feel, or give it depth. That's the word I want to use. So one thing I'm gonna do is this. Let me go down here to the colors changing, and let's see what happens. I'm gonna give a little bit a hint of blue, maybe like a snowy blue. I'm gonna turn down the let's see, not the contrast. Take down some of not the brightness, but the brightness. Let's take down the saturation down some. Not too much. I say about this much because I still am going to. I still need some of the blue to have the opacity there. So let's do that. Let me see if I can bring it a bit more of the blue here, like a coldish winter blue. Here we go. And let's make the northern region like a glacier, icy region or something like that. Something that you know. I'm a very big person. I'm a very person with dealing with winter. I love winter so much. See, there you go. Look at that. Can you see that? You know, I gave it a little more frost. You know, I'll take that out a little bit because I want it. Let's see. What I want to add a little more saturation to it. There we go. I want to turn up the saturation because I do want to have that nice, beautiful blue color there. And now I'm going to do this. I'm going to take out the saturation totally, so I can get a maybe I can get a little snow cap areas here. Not quite sure, but I do want to take out some of the saturation. So let's do that. We'll take out the saturation completely, and we'll turn it to bright and see if that helps out a bit. Yep, there we go. Turn this down. Turn the contrast down a bit. There we go. Let's see what happens. Or nothing really too much. Let me see if I can add the yeah. All right, so let's add some. I really want this to be like a hilly, rocky area. See what happens. Now add a little snow plains here, and snow plains here in this area here. So I'm moving, pointing to it like you see in my hand. So let's add some assets. Let's add some small hills. Small dunes, snow dunes. And like I said, don't be afraid to mess up. As you see, I have messed up a bit sometimes. But you also got to remember, like as Bob Ross say, happy to the accident. So let's make this little some snowy areas here, like say like it's kind of like breaking down, and then it kind of gets a little rocky up here. Say this like the foothills of rock formation. And also, I want to add a little castle here, so I can maybe a little small capital city or something like that, city of ice. Who knows whatever. Oh, maybe it exists on a peninsula over here. It's all about being creative, like how you want to do things. Because like a lot of times, like you'll find a lot of cities, like capital cities, are pretty much like deep within the territory. So, say like this area here is one territory, or this part here is part of a territory. But anyway, I really want to make this like a mountainous region here. Let's add some messes first, like a little bit of snow messes here. Be like I said, be creative. Have fun with it. You can do whatever you want. And I do want this to be a bit of a barren region. I may add some dead trees. Not quite sure. But say if this is like you know. Now I'm not going to add any water here. Like maybe I can add a frozen lake somewhere. You know, maybe a couple of trees. Who knows? Maybe a couple of trees survive. Well, pine trees will survive. So let's go. Not too much, but maybe a couple. Because they do have to have firewood. Maybe they need some firewood or something like that. In little areas. Just toss some stuff in here. A little bit here and there. You know, just give it. But remember, it's going to be very barren. So let's add the mountains. Finish up with the mountain. And again, if you ever feel like you need to add more, do so. Like if you need to add more territory, but just keep in mind you want to not overdo it. Maybe you do want to overdo it. You never know. Like I said, it's all about what you really want, what you're really looking for in your in your map. And so, like for example, so I really this look kind of like very restricted. So I want to add more landmass and address that later. You know, address the issues later. There we go. And I do want say this like it's like a mountain stronghold. You could that's the reason why I added more. You know, more around the map. This could be like maybe that's a very beautiful place in the mountains. And normally, like I like to put my strongholds on the largest mountain because like normally like say like this is like a mountain. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. Say this is like a mountain pass here. You can always this is the type of details you want to think with your map. Add a little bit of detail like what's going on here. What's up with this nation. Move this back a bit. Now you won't be able to see it, so I'm gonna have to do it like I did before with Master City. Um, I'm gonna have to darken that asset in the background to give it more, to make it stand out. Maybe add a shadow. You can also change the saturation, but we're not gonna do that right now. We're going to let's see. I'm trying to add a background or a background blur or shadow. Here we go. Custom shadows. And this is where you can do a lot of manipulation to the shadow. You can see up here. You can see what's going on. You create an intensity. You can create You know. Also, what you can do is this too. You can like take out the saturation here. You know, I mean you can still see the mountain here, but you know you most definitely want to see this. You know, you want to see this happen right here. Um, who knows? Like I said before, it's all about how you want to address the situation, address the problems within your map. If you feel like your map is not holding up right, I'll take out that, because I do, like I said, this is gonna be like a heavy, like maybe like a steppy or like a foothills or a steppy, before they actually get into the mountains. So it's just one of those things that you want to think about. And who knows, maybe there's like a mountain and you have a bridge here. You could add a bridge if you want to. It's just one of those many details that you can do if you want to when you work with your map. So based on just adding some foothills, like I said before, I have added a path here. I may throw a couple more mountains around here. I'm not quite sure. Like I said, this is a very cold region, a very mountainous, rocky, and stuff like that. I'm gonna throw some mountains right here. And who knows? Maybe there's a small port down here, like a sail port. Every major city has a port. So I'm gonna take away from the map over here. I'm gonna take away the map and add a small port city here. Like I said, it's like those type of things you gotta keep in mind. Like how do they get around? What type of technology, what type of transportation do they have within the map? So you really want to think about those things. But so let's do this. Let's who knows? Also, it could be maybe like maybe like there are like a couple excuse me. There are cities that have like two ports, like one for the west and one for the east and stuff like that. And some may sail around and go to the port. All depends on how it is. But I'm going to tap here real quick with a subtract, and I'm going to add a little port city here. Like I said, these are the type of things you really want to think about. Also, when I was watching the video on YouTube, I forgot the person's name. If I could figure him out, figure that video out, I will most definitely share it to you. Share it with you. But basically, like you said, you always want to put your cities, your bays and harbors within the inlets of a bay, because pretty much like that's where most of the ships would be. But I do want to add a couple more cities here within the area here. So I'll move that up. It's just one of those things that like I said, you have to really think about how things are going to work out within your map. You know. So based on just like that's basically, and maybe have a little island city here that is part of the territories. Also, that mentioning territory, you most definitely want to like divide your map up with the lines here that's provided for you. So just make sure you always keep that in mind. You what's bordering your nation, like who owns the nation. I think I have at least about 5 or 6 nations here that I have to like really think about. Next time. I just made it big enough so you can be able to see it. But this is gonna be like a very very big country, a very big territory. You know. Yeah. So pretty much this is what it is. I mean, it's pretty much good. I'm gonna add a couple of trees down here, maybe. Like I said, I'm always thinking about the firewood they can have. I do apologize for something's going on with my computer. So, but anyway, this is, like I said, just one of those things you want to think about. You know, I'm gonna go back in later, maybe another video or one more video. I'm gonna make these trees a lot bigger. But like I said, nations do have to have firewood. You want to make sure make your terrain very interesting. But anyway, I'm going to end the video here. This is what I have. I do thank you for joining me live on Beagle. On Beagle, well, and also YouTube. So my Beagle just shut down because my phone ran out of juice. But anyway, But anyway, I do thank you for joining me with the video, joining with another tutorial on how to color your parchment map. So one thing I'm going to do is this. I thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Take care and peace.